Hello everyone, today I want to make a video about the VHS format. Now, I know the VHS format is very common. It's been done many times. But at least to me, it's a very special format because I actually used VHS when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, for sure. So VHS has a very place in my heart. Maybe not in yours, but at least to me, it's a VHS, very special. I know the resolution is very low. Well, actually, that's kind of, it depends on the machine you have. I mean, some machines, they create a wonderful picture. They are quite rare, they are quite expensive, but I mean, it really depends on the machine you use. You'll get a wonderful picture. I mean, you really can't compare it to DVD, for example, or Blu-ray. No way. But I mean, it still produces a wonderful picture. VHS. Now, I really want to focus this video on a specific machine that I bought from eBay recently. It's a, I think it's a very special machine. It's a custom design machine. Now this machine, there's only one available because it's, like I told you, it's custom made. It was painted, it was decorated. It's a very special machine and I'm very happy to own that machine. All right, let me really focus on this right here. Okay, now VHS. I really don't make many videos about VHS because I really try to focus on the rare ones. But I mean, at least considering this machine, it is absolutely rare because like I told you, there's only one in the world because it's custom designed by someone. Now, I collect many formats, but I didn't really use them when I was a kid. For example, the 1981 Technicolor CVC micro video cassette format. I made quite a few videos about this format, but I never actually used it when I was a kid. So this doesn't really have like a very sentimental value to me compared to VHS. For sure, VHS is a lot more special to me. For example, I do collect, for example, the 1976, that will be the VCR2 format. I mean, I do use this in the here and now, but I never really actually used it when I was a kid or a teenager. So yeah, even though I really like collecting this format, it doesn't have that special value to it compared to VHS. For example, the 1977 Quasar VX format. I do use it in the here and now. I do record onto it. I think it's a wonderful format. It's a very, you have to maintain the machine quite often, but at least to me it's very fun. But still, VHS, it has a very special place in my heart. Even beta. I mean, actually, the reason I collect vintage technology, I mean, there's quite a few reasons. One of the main reasons is because my father, he used to maintain and resell, that would be videotape machines. Now, actually, my father, he really hated beta because it was a very hard sell. It wasn't as popular as VHS. A lot of people, they really didn't want to buy beta machines. They mostly prefer the VHS for sure. So my father, he really sold very few beta machines because they really wouldn't sell. He would pretty much get tired of bringing them out at the flea markets. They were a hard sell. They weren't sold as much as VHS. But I do use it in the here now. I do collect it. But still, VHS is a lot more special to me. Yeah, cartridge vision. I didn't start using this format till about 2 years ago. So yeah, I really didn't really use cartridge vision when I was a kid. I do use it in the here now. And for example, I mean, I collect many formats. The VCR format. Yeah, no way. This format was never released in the United States. I do collect other audio formats. I mean, lately, I've been really collecting the 8-track format. It's been a wonderful experience. I might make some videos regarding 8-track. It's a wonderful format. The audio cassette. Yes, I absolutely used audio cassettes when I was a kid. They're very special. This is a soundtrack for The Thing. The motion picture, The Thing. John Carpenter film. Wonderful film. I love this film. An 8-track. Now this is like my latest endeavor, but I'm really trying to focus on the videotape machines. I do want to show my collection of 8-track machines, but not yet. This title right here is quite difficult to find in this format. That would be the soundtrack for the Pretty Baby film from 1978. It's a wonderful film. I really love the the costumes, the music, the props. I mean, I'm gonna say it's a perfect film. I mean, there's like no bloopers. Everything's time correct. Wonderful film. Very controversial film. I know that. So VHS. Yes. Okay. I actually bought this machine about 3 weeks ago, so I haven't even opened it yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and do sort of like an unboxing of this machine. I mean, at least to me, it's a very special machine. All right, let me try to really focus here. Now, I tried to kind of cover the addresses, but it does have my address, which I really don't mind showing. All right, so the shipper, he decided to cover this box in cardboard material, which is fine. Let's go ahead and open this guy. They really did that kind of deal when they gift wrap a Christmas gift, sort of a thing right here. All right. Okay. I can tell right away that they reused an Amazon box, which is fine. I mean, it's wonderful to reuse materials. Wonderful. Put that aside. All right, it feels like Christmas again. All right, let's open the top side. Actually, this machine, it's one of the later release machines, so it's not that big. I mean, I've noticed the further back you go in time, the bigger the machines were. For example, the very first VHS machines made by JVC, they were huge. They were top loaders, incredibly heavy machines. All right, so right away I can see that they used newspaper, protective packaging, which is fine. They use plastic bags. Goodwill. I shop at Goodwill very often. You'll find some very wonderful vintage machines at incredibly low prices. It's a wonderful place to buy vintage technology. Oh, look at that color. You can tell right away this is a very unique machine. Like I told you, there's only one in the world. All right, let me try to pop this guy out. Well, it's probably not a guy. It's probably a girl because of the way that it was designed. All right. They really did a wonderful job of packaging. Look at this. There's some air packaging material. It's probably reused from Amazon. Yeah, it's a very good packaging. Okay, now this machine, it's actually backwards. I'm gonna flip it around. I paid a total of $35 US. I mean, at least to me, I think it's worth way more because it's a very unique machine. All right, let me try to remove this bubble wrap. It's actually double layered. I mean, they did a wonderful job packaging this machine. Oh yes, yeah, that's quite unique right there. Yeah, that's not something you see every day. Okay, this is very hard to explain via a video, but I can smell this machine. It still smells like paint. Yes, because it was in fact spray painted. Okay, let me tell you a little bit of the history of this machine, which the owner told me, it's wonderful. I mean, beyond buying something from, for example, Amazon, when you buy from eBay and you're very honest and you give a very, very wonderful, but they don't call it reviews, they call it feedback. eBay feedback is like a short little message that you leave for the seller, which all of the future sellers can see. When you put good information on that feedback, these sellers, they become very happy and they give you like small snippets about your purchase. Now, the person that sold me this machine, they told me, I custom made this VCR for my brother's girlfriend, but unfortunately they broke up. So they never got the opportunity to give this machine to that girlfriend. Now, when I saw this on eBay, they called it rare VCR. Yes, it is in fact rare because There are no others like it. It's custom made, it's custom painted, custom designed. Now this film, it's based on a film. Let me really zoom in right here. I'm very happy to show this machine. Okay, now it says the plastics. Okay, let me open something else that really helps. This happens to be a VHS videotape. I actually had to buy a copy of this film because I didn't really have it. For example, I really try to focus collecting that would be horror and sci-fi films. But it's not the only genre that I collect. I collect others as well. Okay, yeah, that's a wonderful condition right here. Okay, now that looks very nice right there. Okay, that is in fact the film Mean Girls. Now, yeah, this setup really stands out next to all my other machines that I collect. Now, I have seen this film. I actually saw it when it was released. I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it when it was sold. I bought it for my sister, my youngest sister, and she loved the film. And to tell you the truth, it's not a bad film, really. It has wonderful messages regarding, for example, bullying, peer pressure, as well as consequences for bad actions. You'll see all of those in this film. It is a wonderful film. It has a wonderful message to it. Okay, so obviously, now you'll find this film on many different formats, including DVD, even Blu-ray. They actually released this format in Blu-ray, which is wonderful to know. Yeah, VHS, like I told you, it's a very special format to me because I actually used it. I used it for a long time. I was still using VHS, I mean, at least the digital VHS format around 2003. I was still recording onto digital VHS. Digital VHS, it's a wonderful performance. I mean, 1080i resolution. I mean, even compared to DVD, it looks better than DVD. So I was still recording onto digital VHS back in 2003. I eventually started recording onto, there will be hard drive based recorders from, for example, Replay TV as well as TiVo. Yeah, TiVo had a wonderful system. It's no longer around. It really helped you find wonderful films based on your preferences as well as the actors that you liked. But it's no longer around, unfortunately. Okay, Mean Girls. Yeah, wonderful film. I have seen it. I'm going to play it, just a few seconds of it. I might actually make more videos about this machine. For example, this is the first time that I opened this machine. I might want to, for example, perform maintenance. It's always a good idea to perform maintenance on any VHS machine, because it's actually part of the wear and tear. You have to maintain these machines. Unlike, for example, a DVD or a Blu-ray player, those you don't really have to perform. Perform maintenance on those because there's not many moving parts. There's not much wear and tear compared to these machines. Okay, now the plastics. Who was the plastics? Well, that's this group of girls. You probably know this. If you're watching this film, you're probably familiar with this. This movie right here. This is the plastics. It's sort of like a clique of girls. Actually, hold on a second. All right. Now, this is another film that's very similar to Mean Girls. They both talk about peer pressure. They both talk about that we bullying as well as consequences for bad actions. Now, this film, it was actually, I believe this film, Tyra Banks was involved in it. The model, Tyra Banks. This is based on a few books. I've never read them. I'm not sure how many there are. There must be at least 3 books. Those 3 books were kind of compressed onto this film. It's not a bad film either. I do own this. I tell you, I really focus on the horror and VHS films, but I can tell you it's not the only genre that I collect. This is the DVD. It's nice and sealed. I have seen this. It's not a bad film, really. All right. Now regarding this, this was obviously spray painted. very hot pink color. Yeah, this really stands out compared to my other machines. Okay, I'm gonna do something very fun right now. I'm gonna place this machine next to another machine that I own, and they look like complete opposites. Because sometimes, in order to appreciate a machine's rarity, you have to place it next to something else. For example, I collect many videotape machines, not just in this format. And this machine it really stands out. I mean, you can see it from far away. It's a very bright, hot pink color. Okay, now this says the burn book. Now, if you've seen the film, you know what that is. But if you haven't, I'm gonna give you just a few spoilers here, not much. What the burn book was, it was sort of like a journal. And in that journal, they would write down some very awful information about people that obviously they really didn't fit into their clique, you might say. Yeah, it was an awful book. And in that film, that burn book, it falls into the hands of a teacher. And he reads it out loud. Yeah, they got in really bad trouble regarding that burn book because it's a very awful information about other students in that burn book right there. Okay, now regarding these letters, these are in fact stickers. Now you can find these stickers on online stores. For example, Amazon as well as Etsy. Etsy does sell this. It's very easy to find. For example, if you type in Mean Girls stickers, you'll find these stickers. That's what the seller used. He used these custom made stickers. I'm not sure if they bought them from Amazon or from Etsy, but they both sell them. So he spray painted this machine first. You can tell right here that you have some sort of like drips, which is fine. For example, I could go ahead and make something myself like this, but it wouldn't be that special. I mean, knowing that somebody else, they took their time to make such a thing, knowing that they had plans to give it to someone, but they weren't able to. I mean, I'm going to take very good care of this machine, and I'm very happy to have it in my collection that would be of vintage videotape machines. Now, this is obviously, okay, let me show you exactly what machine this is, because obviously you can't see anymore because it's been spray painted. You can't see the brand or the model anymore, but you can tell by flipping this around what machine this is. Okay, this is in fact, that would be a Magnavox machine. Yeah, see, it's not even stereo, it's just mono out. Yeah, by the time this machine was released, you already had machines that were stereo compatible. You already had, for example, Super VHS, much more advanced machines. But I remember this is I believe this is a rebranded Panasonic as well as Quasar. That would be Panasonic, Quasar, and Magnavox. They all use the exact same internal parts, but you just placed their brand on top of it. Now, these weren't too expensive. I remember back in the late 90s, you can go ahead and buy such a machine like this at, for example, Kmart, for example, Walmart. They were very cheap. They were between, about $80. So $70, $80, somewhere in there. That was not too expensive. So yes, these were sold quite a bit. They were very common. Let me go ahead and show you another machine, which is technically this one, but obviously it hasn't been painted. Okay, that would be this guy. This is the Quasar machine that was sold in the late 90s. It's pretty much a Panasonic or a Magnavox machine. They just placed their brand right here. In this case, it says Quasar, but many times it says Panasonic or Magnavox. It's the exact same internal workings, same performance as well. They have a lot of filters that really filter out that would be the noise. So you get a very, I mean, you do lose some of the resolution. It looks a little bit more fuzzy, But regarding those little artifacts, little white noise, it really filters them out. All right, so that would be the Quasar machine, which is pretty much that guy right there. But this one has been custom painted. All right, now let me go ahead and do something that's, I don't know if it's ever been done before. I'm gonna go ahead and place another machine next to this one, just to, so you can really appreciate how unique this one is. Now, I might actually make another video about this other machine, but for now, I just kind of want to very briefly show it. It's quite heavy. Okay. Now, if you yourself collect VCRs, you know that this one is not too common. And if you do happen to find one, they're not going to be cheap. Now, I bought this one back in April. It's been a while. Now, this one didn't cost me $35 like the Mean Girls inspired VCR. This one cost me $499. And it's worth every penny. It's complete. Obviously, it has the box, but it has all of the accessories. That will be the manual, the remote control, the cables, everything. Everything's in there. Let me kind of very briefly show you that. That's the accessories. Let me, yes, it's quite a heavy machine. It's built very well. All right, put this aside. Okay. I mean, I have been wanting to show this machine for a while, but since I'm showing this this very custom-made one, I really want to show it next to this one. Just sort of like I mean, some people say that opposites attract. Yeah, these machines, there are quite opposites regarding their looks. I mean, look at that. Quite different, right? Now, this is a custom painted Magnavox machine. Now, this is the Toshiba. That would be the model F990. Now, this happens to be a super VHS machine. Now, the picture quality that comes out of this guy is much higher than this one for a few reasons. For example, this one does in fact have S-video output, which really helps. I mean, there were others that give you a much better picture than this guy. For example, the digital VHS machines. I do own quite a few of those. They actually give you a better picture because the digital VHS machines, they actually have time-based correction built in. They also have, believe it or not, component output, as well as firewire output, which you really can't compare to composite like this guy. Composite has a limit regarding its resolution, regarding its color spectrum, as well as luminance and chroma. You get much better luminance and chroma on S-video, but you'll get even better luminance and chroma on either component or firewire. Let me go ahead and turn these guys on. I mean, they have beautiful front screens. I really want to show you now these two are quite special in their own unique ways. I went ahead and plugged in the Magnavox, and this right here is the Toshiba F990. Okay, I just noticed something. The buttons on these, they were painted over. You can't really see which one is the power or anything like that. But it should be, I mean, there's not many things to move around on this machine. There's a lot of things you can move around on this one. Let me try to turn on the Toshiba first. Okay, let me really show you this in all. I mean, you will find other videos regarding this machine, but they don't really get into the details about it. It has many different features, a lot of features. Okay, look at this. This is very beautiful. It has a spring. It kind of very smoothly props down. Let me go ahead and turn it on. Okay, now that in fact is twin VU audio meters. Now that's not something you see on every day on a VHS machine. For example, you will find that on professional machines. Actually, this machine is considered a professional machine. It was used by editors, the people that would edit, for example, wedding videos, because it actually has, believe it or not, an ability to scan. It has a handheld scanner, which lets you scan text, which you can actually input into your video. It can be text, but it can also be images that you can, it's a feature that you won't find on other VHS VCRs. I'm going to show you the scan in a little while. Very nice warm glow. They could have made these very like bright white, like daylight, but they decided to use that very soft yellowish glow. It's a very vintage look to this machine. Very nice. Look at that nice SVHS logo that glows nice and green. Yes, Super VHS. It's a wonderful picture compared to VHS, because this one gives you more scan lines. It gives you, I believe it's 410. Well, actually it depends. It can either be 410 or it can be 400. For example, there was a system called Super VHS ET, which would allow you to use standard VHS videotapes, and it would allow you to record Super VHS quality, but it wasn't exactly Super VHS. It lacked about 10 lines, which is not much. It was pretty much the same. So you can either record 410 or 400 scan lines. That's a lot more compared to the standard VHS. Standard VHS was in fact between 240 and 250 scan lines. The reason it depends 240, 250, because there were some that were called EQ. Not all machines had that system. They would give you an extra 10 lines of resolution, which, I mean, 10 lines is not much, but it does make a difference. Actually, that would be HQ, high quality. So Super VHS, wonderful picture. I'm not going to show you how this one performs in this video, because that would make this video incredibly long. I'm going to make another video about this machine. Look at these buttons. You have a lot of control here. Recording level, audio recording level, individual left and right levels. You won't find that on any VCR. It has a picture soft or sharpness. Not all VCRs have that. It has an option to move the tracking manually, because on most machines by this time they had automatic tracking. Actually, this one has it as well. It says on or off, digital tracking. But sometimes you want to have control of that yourself, because some videotapes, you might say they were recorded wrong on, for example, on portable VHS camcorders. Sometimes the automatic tracking, it can't really dial in that correct tracking, so you have to do it yourself. In this case, they use a spinning system. Wonderful. Okay, now I really love this feature. I really, really love it. This in fact has, let me show you right down here, phones for your earphones. Because yes, I do use these machines in here now. Now, believe it or not, that's my monitor back there. It's not a huge monitor. That is a 20-inch monitor. So since that's such a small monitor, it is small, but it has a wonderful picture. It's obviously not widescreen, so it's compatible with these vintage formats. So I actually when I use these old machines, I stand right in front of them. I mean, about 1.5 feet away from them, because I really like looking at them while they're working away. So I actually use headphones with them. This really helps. I don't have to use an adapter cable. I just plug in my headphones right there. Now, a headphone jack, that's something that you really won't find on all VCRs, but I really appreciate the fact that it has it. It even has a microphone input right in the front. It has this cover right here. It has a scanner. It says right there, scanner. Why does it say scanner? I'm going to show you that in a little while. It's a hand. It looks like a mouse, like a computer mouse. It lets you scan images. It's a wonderful system. You won't find that on other machines. As S-video input as well as composite. Nice gold-plated connectors. Not all machines had gold-plated connectors. They did that on this machine. They really didn't cut corners. It's a very beautiful machine, to tell you the truth. All right, now this guy does in fact have, that would be wood side panels. This is in fact wood right here. It can be removed. I actually kind of like the way it looks without them. Let me kind of do that right now. You simply spin these screws on the side, and that allows you to remove the wood side panels. I mean, it doesn't really look bad without them. I kind of like the way it looks without them, to tell you the truth. But that's it to each person. See right there, it has the wood panel on the right, but I just removed the one on the left. Not all VCRs had wood panelings. I mean, some of the very old ones did. For example, the original VHS machines, they had a lot of simulated wood panels. Now, regarding these wood panels, they're like not the best quality. I mean, you can barely see the wood grain because it's a very dark color. It's not a very light shade, so you can barely see it. But this is, in fact, that would be particle board, also known as MDF. Yeah, look at that texture. So it's pretty much a compressed wood product, and they place on top this simulated, a very thin cover on top. All right, very beautiful machine. I'm not gonna show you all the features. I'm not gonna play back this video on this machine because that would make this video incredibly long. I just really want to show you how unique this custom-made machine looks compared to that other one. Yeah, that really stands out right there. All right. Let me go ahead and plug this guy in to my monitor. See how it performs. It probably won't perform very well because I told you, this is pretty much a budget machine. Very basic. No stereo audio. Very basic machine. Okay, let me just show you one more thing before I play a video on that machine. Like I told you, VHS. It's a very special format to me. Yeah, like I told you, I do collect horror and sci-fi films, but it's not the only genre that I collect. For example, I do happen to love the story Alice in Wonderland. It's an incredibly old story. There's so many versions, not just animated, but also live action. There's that would be plays, musicals. I'm pretty sure that this story, they're never going to stop making new versions because it's a wonderful story. I mean, just like The Wizard of Oz, Alice in Wonderland, it's a wonderful story. They were both written by a man, believe it or not. A lot of people, they believe, oh, Wizard of Oz, Alice in Wonderland. Obviously, they were written by a woman. Well, no, they were not. They were written by a man, which is quite interesting. Now, there's many different versions about this film, but I happen to love this one. Actually, if you do a little bit of research, you'll know that in the original story, Alice was incredibly young. For example, on one of the most recent versions of Alice in Wonderland. The actress, obviously she's not this young. She's quite older. So I think that's like, it's not as, it doesn't really follow the original story as much as this version. Now this version is actually an imported version. It's not from the Americas, it's from Europe. I really love this one. It has a lot of, that would be stop motion, claymation, stuff like that. It kind of gives it a kind of scary aspect to it, but I mean, it's difficult. Stop motion video is very difficult. So I know the amount of work that was placed to this video, and I really appreciate it quite a bit. Now this is from Japan. I imported this from Japan. It was not cheap. It was quite expensive, especially the shipping. The shipping from Japan is quite expensive. They didn't just use the standard black housing. They used the pink, which yeah, it really stands out. It really looks nice next to this VCR. For example, whenever I watch this film, I'll probably use this machine because it really it's a very wonderful combination of the hot pink color right there. Very nice. I have quite a few of those. This one's nice and sealed. Yeah, I collect many formats. Now, VHS is probably the format that I collect the most because it's so easy to acquire. And it was used pretty much worldwide. Now, this is a version, it's a PAL. Now, I still need to buy a worldwide VHS VCR, which will allow me to play not just the NTSC, because believe it or not, in Japan, they do use NTSC, but in Europe, they use the PAL standard. So whenever I play this on a standard American release machine, you get a black and white picture, and a couple weird things happen. For example, you'll get multiple images of the exact same image on the same screen, and they'll be black and white. So yeah, you can't really enjoy that picture. You need a special machine that would be a worldwide machine. But I mean, it's on my list of things that I want to buy pretty soon. Yeah, very nice. This came like, I don't know if this has ever been shown. I'm going to show it because I don't know if this has ever been shown via a video. Look at those inserts. I know it's black and white, but it has a lot of information regarding the people that made this film. I mean, look at these dates. 1934, 1950, 1958, 1964. This is the producer, the director. He made many films regarding stop motion. This was one of them. It's a wonderful story. They did a wonderful job on this. It's very, I don't know how you would say it. It's very, it follows the original story very well for many reasons. I love the fact that they don't use the exact same cover. It kind of varies a little bit. I mean, for example, to me as a collector, that's something very special. Knowing that the covers change just very slightly. It gives it a very nice collector's concept to it. This is from Japan, the Japanese version. It also comes in a plastic hard case. They actually place a little bit of color inside. This happens to be that nice pink color. It comes with this insert. It kind of shows you the other films that were made by this same director. Yeah, he made a lot of claymation. Very creepy sort of films, but they were very difficult films to make. They have it takes a lot of talent. See, this happens to be it's very creepy. I mean, this is a film made for children, but to have such an insert for a film that's made for children, that is in fact a hand that's being cut. Yeah, very creepy. This is a scene from the Alice film. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, that's something that you want a child to see. Very unique, very special films. Very nice. I love owning this. Now, this is in fact the American release version. As you can tell, it's just slightly different. It says right here, the master Czech animated, yeah, Czechoslovakia. He was in fact from Czechoslovakia. It's an European film. Very nice. This is in fact sealed. They're all different. They have different images. Very nice collector's aspect to it. Very nice. And this is another version. Now this one doesn't look too nice. It has a very sort of like rough look to it. Not much color. This is an NTSC. Yeah, not a lot of images in the back. This in fact comes in a hard case, but that would be the black colored. It doesn't really stand out compared to the other clear ones. Very basic sticker right here. Not much to look at. So these two are NTSC. This one's NTSC as well. Japan, American, Japanese, European. I love owning these. I own other versions of the Alice in Wonderland film, but this is probably my favorite of all. It's very faithful. That's what it is. Faithful. It's very faithful to the original story. English is not my first language. It kind of took me a while to figure out, remember that word. It's very faithful. Now let me go ahead and try to play this guy on my monitor right here. Wonderful monitor. Like I told you, it's a 4:3 aspect ratio, which is compatible with these old formats. Now this is probably a very bad idea. Okay. Whenever you buy vintage machines like these, I know it's a very bad idea to go ahead and just play tape in it. Because many times the machines, they're quite dirty inside. Many times they'll eat up the tape. Now this wasn't too expensive. You'll find this copy of this film on eBay. I mean, it ranges in price between like around $9 and $25, somewhere in there. So it's not too difficult to find. So I don't really mind if this gets damaged right now, because it's a very easy film to find. But for example, I really wouldn't play something like this imported from Japan, because if this gets damaged, it's not going to be easy to replace it. Let me go ahead and try to play this guy in this. Yeah, very basic, just play right there. Not much to look at. The quality, well, obviously it's VHS. I mean, I love that monitor because it has built-in noise reduction filters, which really helps. For example, I use this guy for Quattro Vision, for the VCore 2 format, the Quasar VX format. It really helps minimize those artifacts. Yeah, I'm going to stop this pretty soon because I really want to get in trouble with the copyright thing. I mean, it's performing very well. I mean, there's no jittering. There's no bars, for example. It's playing very well. I'm still going to maintain it. It's a very good idea to maintain these old machines, but so far it's working. Obviously, the belt is good. Lindsay Lohan, yes, she's the main character in this film. Mean Girls, yes. Yes, so I'm going to stop that. I want to get in trouble with the whole copyright thing. So yeah, so far this machine is working great, considering that it's VHS, but I'm still going to maintain it. I'm going to clean the heads. I'm going to lubricate, for example, the motor bearings. I'm going to wash the belts. What I like to do, I like to remove the belts, inspect them. For example, if they're broken or they're sticky, I replace them. But if they look fine, I like washing them with soap and water, because with time they tend to create sort of like this layer of loose rubber on them, and that kind of creates slipping. And they also collect dust, which it affects the gripping aspect of the rubber belt. So I like washing the belts. Actually, these newer machines, they don't have as many belts as the older ones. For example, on some vintage 1970s VHS machines, they'll have about between 4 and 5 belts. That's a lot of belts. On some of these, you'll have between 1 or 2 belts. Not many. So I think that's pretty much it for this video. I really want to show you this machine because it's quite unique. Like I told you, this is the only one in the world. I mean, you can go ahead and make your own version of this. Like I told you, this was in fact spray painted. You'll find spray paint at any hardware store. Like I told you, all of these stickers you'll find on both Amazon as well as Etsy. I love owning this. I mean, it's quite unique. It really stands out compared to my other machines. For example, my VCore 2 machines, my Quasar VX machines, my Cartravision machines. I mean, they really don't look like this one. This one really stands out. So I guess see you next time. I still have many things that I want to show you. It's very special machines that they really deserve to be shown and shown off. Thank you.